68% of poorly AI-generated video transcripts are now flagged by YouTube's Gemini algorithm as low contextual value, systematically slashing their recommended view rates by a staggering 82%. This quiet algorithmic execution is happening right now under our noses, destroying millions of channels overnight, while creators remain completely oblivious to why their impressions drop to zero. Most content creators upload synthetic scripts thinking they have unlocked a revolutionary productivity hack. The brutal reality is that platforms now penalize generic AI slop significantly harder than copyrighted material, with recent industry reports showing AI-flagged videos receive 3 times more searched emotions than entirely unmonetized content. You are walking directly into an algorithmic trap. Here's what nobody talks about. Your viewers possess a subconscious defense mechanism developed to instantly spot synthetic patterns. A landmark study from the Stanford Human-Centered AI Institute revealed that 73% of viewers can identify AI-generated video scripts within the first 15 seconds, triggering 41% higher early bounce rates that permanently kill your retention. This psychological phenomenon is known as emotional friction, where the audience feels something is inherently wrong with the narration even if they can't quite articulate it. When you rely poorly on ChatGPT or Claude to write your videos, you are not saving time, you are actively training your audience to click away from your channel, and then something shifted in the advertising landscape that changed everything for monetized creators. The Google Creator blog quietly updated their policies to require at least 70% human touch markers in video transcripts to qualify for premium ad tiers, meaning synthetic channels are being quietly demonetized or relegated to the lowest CPM levels. Think about that for a second. Your automated channel might be pulling in millions of views, but you are leaving up to $15 CPM on the table because algorithms categorize your content as low-tier filler. The era of easy passive income from faceless AI channels is officially dead, replaced by a ruthless quality filter. To make matters worse, a comprehensive study from the University of Edinburgh found that AI-generated videos receive 56% fewer average comments with genuine emotional engagement compared to human-created videos. When your comment section is filled with automated spam instead of real human discussions, the algorithm detects zero authentic community value. Nobody told you this, but YouTube's recommendation engine is no longer just looking at raw click-through rate and watch time. The platform has shifted toward a metrics framework called session contribution, which measures the emotional depth of user interaction, something a robotic, generic script can never trigger, no matter how optimized it is. Let us look at a historical parallel that perfectly mirrors this current crisis. Back in the early days of search engine optimization, websites flooded the internet with low-quality, keyword-stuffed articles generated by automated spinning tools. Google responded with the devastating Panda update, wiping out 95% of those exploitative platforms in a single day. We are currently witnessing the exact same purge happening on video platforms, where AI slop is being actively filtered out to protect the user experience. If your entire strategy is based on spinning out 10 videos a day with a single click, you are building your entire digital empire on top of active quicksand. Wait, this is where it gets interesting because the solution isn't to completely abandon AI. According to a groundbreaking MIT Sloan study published in 2024, the most successful creators are using artificial intelligence as a creative stress test to scientifically refine their human-generated ideas into incredibly robust, algorithm-proof, viral video concepts. This means the winning formula isn't human versus machine, but rather a hybrid model where the human provides the original perspective, unique storytelling, and raw emotion, while the AI acts as a brutal editor, analyzing structural flaws and proposing contrarian angles that keep viewers hooked from the very first frame. I didn't expect this either, but research from Wixad proved that creators who hybridize AI tools with deep human storytelling see a 23% higher algorithmic priority than pure human or pure AI approaches. But the platforms don't hate automation. They hate lazy execution that treats the viewer like a mindless statistic. When you combine raw, unpolished human vulnerability with the structural efficiency of machine learning, you create a content engine that is literally impossible for competitors to replicate. Your unique life experiences, embarrassing failures, and personal triumphs become the ultimate moat, protecting your channel from the generic AI tidal wave. Consider what happened when major brands started replacing their creative writing staff with raw AI outputs in early 2023. Within 6 months, their organic engagement metrics dropped by half because the content lacked the cultural nuance and sharp, sarcastic humor that defines authentic human communication in the modern digital age. Here's what nobody talks about. The psychological concept of emotional resonance is something machine learning models struggle to emulate. Meta A research discovered that over 40% of synthetic content gets flagged for emotional dissonance, meaning the script's tone doesn't match the human speaker's natural vocal rhythm, leaving viewers feeling uneasy. This dissonance is the silent killer of audience retention because the subconscious mind registers a lack of authenticity, prompting the viewer to scroll away without even realizing why. To build a highly profitable digital brand, you must learn how to systematically eliminate this emotional gap in every piece of content you post. Let us look at a concrete example of a creator who got this right. Instead of asking AI to write an entire video script, they used the tool exclusively to generate 10 different contrarian arguments against their own thesis, forcing themselves to build a far more compelling, airtight narrative that kept viewers arguing in the comments. This is how you turn a generic tool into a powerful intellectual sparring partner that elevates your storytelling. By using AI to challenge your assumptions rather than write your thoughts, you create scripts that are intellectually dense, highly engaging, and utterly unique, bypassing every single algorithmic filter designed to catch synthetic content. And then something shifted when platforms began tracking the relationship between creator commentary and loyal viewer behaviors. Data from Tubular Labs showed that videos with verified, deeply personal creator commentary saw a massive 2.3 times higher watch time within their first 7 days of publication compared to standard factual compilations. This is known as the authenticity bonus, a powerful algorithmic multiplier that rewards creators who put their genuine personality and real-life experiences at the forefront of their content strategy. If you strip away the human element to save a few minutes of production time, you are sacrificing the compounding value of true loyalty. Think about that for a second. Why do you watch your favorite creators? It is not just for the raw information, which you could easily find on Wikipedia in 10 seconds. It is for their unique perspective, their vocal delivery, their bad jokes, and the emotional connection you share with them over time. When you publish raw AI slop, you are essentially telling your audience that you do not respect their time enough to give them your actual voice. A devastating Trustpilot consumer report found that AI-generated content is 5.8 times more likely to be reported for inauthentic promotion by disgruntled viewers who feel manipulated. Once your audience loses trust in your authenticity, your brand is effectively dead in the water, regardless of how good your optimization strategy is. Building long-term enterprise value requires a commitment to human-edited refinement, which a Harvard Business Review study proved achieves 89% higher meaningful engagement than unedited machine outputs. Nobody told you this, but the difference between a video that gets 10 views and one that gets 10 million comes down to the subtext. AI models are trained on historical data, meaning they can only output predictable averages, whereas viral content relies on breaking expectations and saying something completely unexpected. If you feed your script writing tool a basic prompt, it will give you the most average response possible, because that is exactly how LLMs are designed to work. Unbeatables and you are essentially paying to publish the mathematical average of the internet, which is the exact definition of white noise that viewers swipe past. Wait, this is where it gets interesting. How do we break out of this cycle and start creating algorithm-proof masterpieces? The first step is to implement what top creators call the 15-minute rule, a simple editing process where you force yourself to completely rewrite the hook and intro of any script generated by AI. By manually rewriting these critical first 30 seconds, you inject your unique personality, establish immediate credibility, and eliminate the predictable synthetic sentence structures that trigger platform filters. This simple change alone can rescue your retention metrics and double your average watch time on new uploads, securing your channel's future. I didn't expect this either, but the structural rhythm of human speech is far more chaotic than the sterile patterns generated by AI engines. Humans use fragments, rhetorical questions, and sudden changes in tempo to keep listeners engaged, whereas machine-generated scripts always follow a highly predictable, monotonous cadence that sends viewers to sleep. To test this theory, try reading your AI-generated script out loud before recording. If you find yourself running out of breath or stumbling over overly formal transitions, that is a clear sign the text lacks natural conversational flow and will likely trigger high bounce rates from your audience within seconds of clicking. Let us look back at the early days of filmmaking, when silent movies transitioned into sound. The directors who survived were not the ones who just added sound to their old style, but those who completely redesigned their storytelling to match the new sensory medium, creating a golden age of cinema. We are currently living through a similar transition point in digital media creation. The creators who thrive in the coming years will not be those who ignore AI, but those who master the delicate art of hybrid storytelling, leveraging machine scale while retaining their irreplaceable human identity at all costs. Think about that for a second. The internet is becoming so saturated with sterile synthetic text that authentic human connection is actually becoming a luxury commodity. When everyone else is publishing generic, automated content, your raw, unfiltered, and deeply human voice becomes your most valuable asset, commands premium sponsorships, and builds deep loyalty. This is why relying poorly on raw AI outputs is a fast track to digital obscurity and platform-wide irrelevance. The algorithms are smart enough to recognize when you are taking shortcuts, and they will not hesitate to bury your content under a mountain of high-quality human-curated videos that keep users on their platform. Here's what nobody talks about. The most successful digital media companies are quietly hearing human editors specifically to de-AI their script pipelines before production. They realize that raw machine output is an existential threat to their brand equity and that human touch is the only thing keeping them profitable in a saturated market. But as millions of channels collapse under this algorithmic porridge, the ultimate survival secret is finally coming to light. The future of content belongs to the hybridized creator who uses machines for structural leverage but keeps their unique human soul completely uncopyable. If you fail to make this transition right now, you will be left behind. Let us analyze exactly how this hybrid system works in practice so you can start applying it to your own channel today. The first phase is what we call the human spark, where you identify a highly emotional story, a controversial thesis, or a unique angle that stems directly from your personal life. Once you have this core human concept, you feed it to your AI tool not to write the video, but to analyze it for logical inconsistencies and propose 5 completely different structures. This forces your story to go through a rigorous editing phase before you even begin writing a single line of narration. And then something shifted when creators started using this workflow to optimize their content for viewer psychology. Instead of outputting generic facts, the AI helps you organize your human thoughts into highly effective setup, tension, and payoff loops that keep the audience locked to the screen, driving retention metrics through the roof. Think about that for a second. You are using the efficiency of machine intelligence to make your authentic human voice far more compelling, rather than using it to replace your voice entirely. This is the exact strategy that separates elite, multi-million-dollar channels from the millions of struggling automated creators failing to gain traction. Nobody told you this, but platforms like YouTube are spending billions of dollars to develop sophisticated synthetic classifiers that analyze your video's audio, video frames, and closed captions. They are actively cataloging every video to ensure their search and recommendation algorithms favor high-value human perspectives over mass-produced synthetic content streams. If your channel is flagged as an AI farm, your distribution is restricted to a tiny fraction of its potential reach, effectively trapping you in digital purgatory forever. You are working against a system that is specifically designed to suppress your content unless you actively inject real human markers into your videos. Wait, this is where it gets interesting because this filter presents the single greatest opportunity for new creators in a decade. While massive media corporations continue to ruin their brands by firing their writers and flooding their channels with lazy AI videos, independent creators who double down on authenticity are experiencing massive growth. This is your chance to stand out from the noise by offering something that money cannot buy, a genuine relationship with your viewers. When you share your struggles, look directly into the camera, and speak from a place of deep personal experience, you form a bond that no language model can replicate. I didn't expect this either, but the psychological need for community and human connection has never been stronger than it is in this current era of digital isolation. When viewers find a creator who is authentic, they do not just watch their videos, they become active evangelists who share the content with everyone. Let us look at a historical parallel from the late 19th century during the Industrial Revolution. As factories began mass-producing generic, low-quality furniture, a powerful movement emerged that prioritized handcrafted, artisanal pieces, turning human craftsmanship into the ultimate luxury status symbol for collectors worldwide today. We are currently seeing the exact same cultural renaissance happening in the digital content landscape right now. Authentic, handcrafted videos are becoming the artisanal furniture of the internet, commanding premium advertising dollars, exceptionally high sponsor rates, and unparalleled viewer loyalty from massive global audiences tired of generic synthetic feeds. Think about that for a second. By choosing the path of least resistance and relying entirely on AI automation, you are actively choosing to compete in a race to the bottom where the margins are zero. By choosing authenticity, you are positioning yourself in a premium market where your value compounds indefinitely. Nobody told you this, but the best way to leverage AI is to treat it as your research assistant rather than your primary creator. Ask it to find historical analogies, look up scientific papers, and summarize complex concepts, then take that raw information and translate it into your own unique voice. This specific hybrid workflow allows you to maintain an incredibly high production value while ensuring every single sentence you speak is 70% human-authored, while passing all platform filters with flying colors and protecting your channel's premium monetization status for many years to come as the algorithms continue to evolve. To make your transition easier, we have mapped out a simple 3-step framework that you can start using today. Step 1 is to identify your unique storytelling hook. Step 2 is to use AI to generate 5 contrarian angles. Step 3 is to manually rewrite every transition to sound completely natural. By implementing this simple framework, you will instantly separate yourself from 99% of creators who are lazily publishing raw machine outputs. Your videos will feel alive, authentic, and highly engaging, capturing your audience's attention and forcing the platform's recommendation engine to distribute your content to millions of eager new viewers. Wait, this is where it gets interesting because the true power of this method is that it scales with your channel's growth. As you gain more resources, you can hire human editors to handle the mechanics, but your authentic voice and unique perspective will always remain the primary driver of your brand's success. Let us look at the long-term projection for synthetic content over the next 5 years. As AI models become even more ubiquitous, the internet will be so completely flooded with generic slop that search engines and social platforms will have no choice but to implement even stricter barriers to entry. Creators who rely on lazy automation will find their entire libraries completely wiped out of search results and recommendation feeds, while those who built authentic brands will see their traffic skyrocket. You must choose which side of history you want to be on before the final algorithmic hammer drops. Think about that for a second. The effort you put into maintaining your humanity and your content today is a direct investment in your future digital survival. Do not let the promise of short-term scale tempt you into sacrificing your ultimate competitive advantage, which is your unique human perspective. Nobody told you this, but the most successful modern creators are actually incredibly proud of their natural human imperfections. Their sudden stutters, their weird analogies, and their occasional mistakes are exactly what make them feel human to their audience, breaking the sterile monotony of digital life and forming an unbreakable bond. When you completely remove these human elements through sterilely AI writing, you are polishing away the exact gold that makes your content valuable. Or, older vision, embrace your authentic voice. Use AI as a tool to elevate your structure and build a digital empire that is completely immune to any future algorithmic shifts. To summarize the critical steps we have discussed today, first, platforms are actively penalizing generic AI content. Second, viewers can instantly feel the emotional dissonance of synthetic scripts. And third, the ultimate solution is to hybridize your workflow by combining machine structure with 70% authentic human voice to build an unbeatable brand. While you begin applying these hybrid rules to your scripting process, there is an even bigger shift happening with platform algorithms that no one is talking about. It completely changes how videos are recommended to viewers, and you can discover exactly how it works in our very next deep dive.